Hello and welcome back to my channel, and before starting I must tell you all that I'm so grateful for the amazing response in my last video of front-end development. I'm so thrilled to see that the video blew up and got 500 views within a week. It means so much to me that you all are finding value in my content. And as promised in the video, that if that video performs well, then I'm gonna make a video on backend development too. So here I am making a video on backend development. And if you are here just for the roadmap of the backend development and to learn backend development, then you can skip to the part which is in the timestamps given. But it would be good for you if you listen to this part too. Now, as I have said before that I'm a front-end developer, and for making a video on backend, I had to do some research, read articles and watch videos about it. And I was blown to see when I was doing the research, few people have made a good video about backend development's roadmap so the beginners could understand. So in the end, I had to call my friend who himself is a backend developer, and he teaches me all about backend and the mistakes and the tips and tricks which he did when he was learning backend development. So if you want to know about them, the tricks and tricks which he did, so stick to the end of the video where I'll be telling all of that. For understanding backend development, let's take an example of a simple website like a sign up page. Now, the sign up page in itself is a part of the front end, but when you fill your data like your username, your name, your email address, and when it saves it, it's all part of the backend. So for learning backend development, you should have the small knowledge of front end development. Not so much, but the basics of HTML, CSS and the JavaScript will do. So when a front end and back end works together, then the website is called a dynamic website. And also the website is also turned into a web app. So for building a web app, three things are involved: front end, back end and the database. So for the front-end development, we know we have to learn about HTML, CSS and the JavaScript, but for the back-end development too, the JavaScript is involved, which is replaceable by Python, ASP.NET, etc. etc. But in the beginning, it is advised that you should learn the JavaScript because it will not create any more confusion. Yes, you can change your language after, but it is convenient to learn the JavaScript in the beginning. As we know, the front-end part can be run on your local computer. Like if you have a basic index.html file, then you can run it on any web browsers like Mozilla or Microsoft Edge. So for creating backend files, we are gonna have to learn Node.js, which is an environment to create these backend files and to run them smoothly. And in Node.js, we're gonna learn the framework which is used to create these backend codes and to connect the front end from the database. Some of the examples of these frameworks are Express.js, Koa or Nest. And now in these frameworks, we are going to learn APIs and other important terms which is used to build these web apps. Now that we know about front-end and back-end, we will have to know about where we can store our data and how we can use this data for our own website. So in the start, I had given an example of a sign-up page. Now if you want to log in that particular page, we can use the data from our database. Databases are of several types, but two of them are very important and are very famous. First, relational type database, and second, document type database. So for connecting these type of database to our own Node.js, we use different type of ODMs. For the relational type database, we use ORM, and for document type database, we use ODMs. Okay, so now I think it's getting very confusing, and for sorting all this out, developers have introduced a very perfect term if someone wants to learn backend: MERN, which stands for MongoDB, Express, React and Node.js. Here MongoDB is an ODM which is used to connect the document type database to our Node.js, and the Express is a backend framework which you have to learn for the backend development, and the React is a front-end framework which is easily replaceable by HTML, CSS and the JavaScript, and the Node.js is an environment where all the things happen. So if you want to learn backend development, learn these things simply. Okay, so before going to the resources section, if you are finding this video helpful and if you want to stay up to date to our content, then please like, share and subscribe to the channel because it gives a lot of confidence for making out these videos regularly. Okay, so let's go to the resource section where you will find the resources for learning these skills easily. So for the starters, that means for the roadmap, you can go for the website known as roadmap.sh, where you will find the roadmap explained very thoroughly, like from point to point. And as I've recommended before in my earlier video of front-end development, you can go for Angela's Use Full Stack Development course, which is a paid course, but it's worth the money if you have some money to buy a course. And if you want some free resources, then you can go for some YouTube channels like Programming with Mosh, Free Coders Camp for 12-hour videos long, and some Web Dev Simplified. And if you're a Hindi audience, then you can go for Code with Harry and Coders Gyan. So, and to top it off, there are also some documentations provided by the OG developers of the Node.js. So all the links will be in the description box if you want to check it out. So let's talk about the tips and tricks which you should follow before learning the backend development. First, don't loop tutorials. Focus more on practical projects rather than just watching more and more tutorials. This will help you in learning the skills more faster and effectively. Second, don't go to many places. Although I have provided some resources, but if you don't like them in the first place, then just don't start the course. Like if you have started from any particular course and if you don't like them in the middle, then starting from the scratch to from any other platform or from any other course will be so much hectic and uneasy. So just stick to one particular course and just don't go anywhere else. Third, do project-based learning. Make a project and try to implement all the lessons which you have learned from a particular lecture from the start, like from the lecture 1. Don't wait to complete a particular course and to start a project. Just start the project when you are in the learning phase. And the fourth tip will be to make a weather or e-commerce websites, because these are the best projects for just starting out. Okay, so here we are at the end of the video, and if you have any thoughts, questions or comments, then you can comment them in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to read them all and to answer them. Until then, I'll meet you in the next one. Peace.